Oumuamua, massive, fast-moving visitor to our solar system, may have been a probe sent by an advanced alien civilization.
Oumuamua, the first interstellar object detected in space, is beginning to appear unusual and move towards Earth. If this continues, we could witness this space object that's anywhere from 300 to 3,000 feet long, crashing into Earth and claiming some lives in the process. Astronomers cannot understand why this visitor from space is inching towards us. To make it worse, it has started acting weird by heading towards the sun. What could be the cause of its movements towards us? Is something responsible for its weird movements of recent? Join us as we explore the terrifying reasons why Oumuamua is now acting strangely and heading towards the Earth at full speed. Oumuamua is coming for our planet. Oumuamua is a cosmic object from outer space that's charging towards the Earth. It has traveled a long time in space at high speeds and is now approaching the realm of our planet. Scientists have monitored its movements and observed how it gets a speed boost from the gravitational pull of planets and stars. Whenever it passes any planet, the gravity of that planet pushes it on at a higher, neck-breaking speed. This space object traveling through space is now moving through what scientists refer to as the interstellar medium. This region is a sparse, vast mix that looks like a thin, cosmic broth made of gases, tiny dust, and charged particles that travel very fast. Even though it seems sparse, the interstellar medium influences space objects like Oumuamua over a long period of time, altering their paths in outer space. The slow movements with interstellar matter add another layer of mystery to the story of Oumuamua. Whenever scientists try to trace the journey this object has made, they have to bear in mind these persistent nudges from the gravitational pull and the interstellar medium. This visitor from outer space was a crucial discovery, as it provided a glimpse into the untold stretches of space far beyond the neighborhood of our solar system. Objects traveling through space usually journey in predictable paths around the sun as they move in oval or circular orbits. Oumuamua is different, however, as it just goes through what's called a hyperbolic path, a one-way journey through our solar system. Unlike comets and other planets that repeatedly orbit the sun, Oumuamua breezed past the sun once, got a speed boost from its gravity, and is now on its way out of our solar system forever. It means that this space object has visited the Earth and decided it's time to continue its voyage into the deep depths of space as a cosmic wanderer. The presence of Oumuamua on the Earth is a once-in-a-lifetime event, as there's a big likelihood that it'll never return to our solar system again. Now that it's still here hovering toward the Earth, scientists have a rare opportunity to study it as part of our galaxy and glean insights from the mysterious universe outside their immediate reach. The speed the interstellar object reached is mind-blowing, as it's zooming ahead at about 26 kilometers per second. It's so insanely swift that it's not just leaving our sun behind in its cosmic rearview mirror, it's saying goodbye to the complete solar system. Its current destination now is a part of the sky known as Constellation Pegasus, and it has no intention of ever looking back. It has similarities with a bird migrating to a warmer climate to live for the winter, only that Oumuamua is leaving our solar neighborhood behind forever, not just for a season. We should consider the interstellar object's visit to the Earth as a rare occurrence that happens once in a generation. Due to its incredible speed, the sun's gravitational pull doesn't seem to have the power to hold it back a little for more observation. After it breezed past the Earth, all our scientists and astronomers could do was analyze data, monitor its path, and derive as many insights as possible from its brief encounter with us. They've decided that the flying object will continue its solo journey across the universe, making its way through the vast expanse of the numerous stars in our Milky Way for countless years. Imagine Oumuamua as a cosmic arrow coming straight at us from space, and that is how scientists saw it and began observing its movements intently to know if it poses any danger to the Earth. The fact that this space object doesn't orbit around the Sun or other planets, but travels through a straight path known as a hyperbolic trajectory, means that it comes from a very distant place in outer space, far out of the reaches of our solar system. The direction from which it arrived at the Earth makes it even more interesting. It appears to come from the area of the sky where the constellation Lyra is located. Looking up at night, you'll see a cluster of stars called Lyra, creating a lighting pattern in the night. Still, this is not enough to deduce where exactly Oumuamua came from, as attempting to do so is similar to finding the famous needle in a haystack. With the universe so unimaginably large, it's possible it has been traveling through space for eons before making its way to the Earth's doorstep. Think of a beach and compare each grain of sand representing a celestial body. Try tracing the origin of one of those grains back to its original rock, where it disintegrated millions of years ago. That's exactly the challenge faced by astronomers whenever they attempt to track down Oumuamua's birthplace. As the universe keeps changing and expanding, it presents a great difficulty to unveil the hidden mysteries of space and the origin of space objects passing through our solar system. Astronomers are well aware that they're just beginning to scratch the mysteries encoded in the universe. Over time, they've stumbled upon crucial clues as they painstakingly observe activities in outer space and in our solar system. One such is the path taken by Oumuamua to come towards the Earth. This path could be a valuable compass that'll guide and aid them in exploring distant realms that they haven't thought was possible before. Little information gotten from this is what aids scientists in exploring the vast cosmic ocean beyond their reach. It shapes their understanding of how objects travel through space and the unique structure of the universe. Astronomers also get to have a sneak peek into distant regions far from the nearby cosmos surrounding us. It's very doubtful that this interstellar object will make a return visit to Earth after zooming past. It just had a brief stop in the Earth's atmosphere before defying the gravitational pull of the Sun to speed past our solar system. As scientists observed Oumuamua leaving the Earth, they also began to notice that it acted strange. Its strange movements caused doubt on whether it was actually a comet or an asteroid. Let's take a look at how weird it started behaving. Oumuamua is now acting disturbing, all of a sudden. The tale of Oumuamua started on a fateful day on October 19, 2017, and it was so thrilling for those ground observers who enjoy gazing up at the night sky. This was the first interstellar object that was seen coming towards the Earth's atmosphere. In Hawaii, there's a huge observational tool called Pan-STARRS 1. It has a single job of searching through the skies for any asteroid that plans on coming close to Earth and making itself a threat. Pan-STARRS 1 is a 1.8 diameter telescope found near the summit of Haleakala on the island of Maui. It is famed to be the world's biggest digital camera, having almost a whopping 1.4 billion pixels. The operations of this telescope were backed and funded by the NASA Near-Earth Observation Program. Every night, the telescope would comb and observe about 1,000 square degrees of the night sky, utilizing a sequence of 4 exposures that would last for an hour. All images obtained during this time are compared with each other, and any object that moves throughout the 1-hour period is easily identified. On a particular night during the observation, something out of the usual happened. A space scientist called Robert Werik, who is accurately suited and skilled at unraveling the mysteries trapped in the universe, was examining the data obtained by the telescope when he came across something out of the ordinary. It was a scary discovery, as Robert found a strange object that was later named Oumuamua. This object was strange because it didn't look like the usual interstellar bodies they're used to seeing, such as asteroids, rocks, or even comets that frequently orbit our sun. Robert wasted no time in sharing his weird findings with the public, as the news of it quickly got the attention of professional astronomers and space enthusiasts all over the world. All of them couldn't wait to point their telescopes toward this abnormal space object coming at us. Everyone wanted to learn as much as they could about the Earth's first-time visitor. All over the globe, there were serious efforts ongoing to observe and analyze everything about this strange object. In the end, what everyone found from their combined observations was truly intriguing. Astronomers couldn't put their hands on why Oumuamua was different, but they all knew for sure that it wasn't behaving like the typical members of the solar system family. It wasn't moving around the sun in a regular path as they all expected. This was weird, because instead of orbiting the sun, this object seemed to just pass through it. Since it just moved through the sun, it meant that its origins weren't from the solar system, but from somewhere outside our familiar celestial boundaries. That was why the name Oumuamua was given to it. Oumuamua is a beautiful Hawaiian word that those who first spotted it named it, and it means a messenger from afar arriving first. That was a very fitting name for it, because it honestly looked like a cosmic messenger coming down at us. It was similar to getting a surprise visit or an unusual signal from a distant part of our galaxy. This isn't merely an interesting event to scientists, it's a reflection of how vast and unknown our universe truly is. Scientists got excited when they got to know about Oumuamua, as the arrival of this object on the Earth's radar showed how different parts of space were intricately woven together. This interconnectedness in the universe hints at all kinds of amusing things beyond what they already know to be common knowledge. The name, Oumuamua, wasn't a name that was haphazardly given, and it wasn't just a random name either. NASA allowed the name as a way of saying thanks to the people of Hawaii who sacrificed 1 hour of their sleep every night to find new objects in space. The discovery of this strange space object is especially important to the people of Hawaii, and the name is a vital link to the Oumuamua's connection with them. When astronomers or space experts had a look at the interstellar object at first, they mistook it for a regular asteroid. They couldn't be blamed for thinking like that because it looked like a real asteroid without the usual signs of a comet. Comets usually come with things that scientists look out for, like a cloud of dust or gas around it, or a tail trailing behind as it breezed through space. However, after Oumuamua started leaving our solar system, something unexpected started happening that confounded the scientific community. It began speeding up to the high heavens, which was very surprising to say the least. It was a shock to scientists and astronomers because this sudden burst of speed was usually associated with comets, not asteroids. Comets have an amazing ability to speed up because as they come near the sun, the heat from the solar system makes them release a surge of gas and dust. This release acts like a propeller or a natural engine, pushing the upwards at a fast rate. Oumuamua didn't behave like a regular comet because it was without the usual signs of dust and gas release. There were no cloudy circles surrounding it and no tail trailing from behind. This was an unusual behavior that left scientists completely dumbfounded because they hadn't seen anything like it until now. In some ways, the space object acted like a comet, and in others, it moved like an asteroid. Professional astronomers couldn't pin down the behavior of Oumuamua to either a comet or an asteroid because it exhibited signs of both cosmic objects, which was very confusing. At the same time, it made the study of this interstellar object discovered by Hawaii very captivating, since no one could completely figure out this visitor from outer space. Some scientists think of Oumuamua as a sneaky comet, completely different from the ones they're familiar with. They theorize that maybe it's releasing only a little bit of gas and dust, which is too little for their telescopes to identify. They believe that this almost invisible puff could be the reason for the space object speeding up and leaving the solar system. If this reasoning among a group of scientists turns out to be true, it means that this space object would be a new breed of comet, not conforming to the typical image of comets we all know. It would be a comet completely different from the regular kind that appears as a huge bright object with a long tail following behind. Oumuamua could be like a secret comet that blends in without the usual features that enable scientists to spot typical comets. At the same time, an even more radical idea has been proposed by Avi Loeb, an Israeli-American Harvard professor. He's come up with a mind-boggling idea that looks like something pulled out of scientific fiction. Loeb has suggested that maybe Oumuamua isn't a natural object like a comet or asteroid. He imagines that it could be a piece of super advanced technology coming from another civilization, just like a super thin reflective sheet, or a sail catching sunlight to glide through space as a sailboat catches the wind to move through the water. He opines that this light sail could be an artificial object sent from far away, maybe from another solar system. Loeb also says that Oumuamua stands out because of its unusual shape, shiny surface, and unusual movement, which is at variance with scientists' understanding of space objects. Avi Loeb's idea is so fascinating because it implies something interesting. It implies that if Oumuamua is actually a probe from an alien civilization, it would create a revolutionizing discovery that suggests the existence of other intelligent beings in the universe outside of humans. This is a thrilling idea that fans the excitement of most people that aliens are actually out there in space. It's capable of making the imagination run wild that there are other beings living their daily lives in the vast expanse of the universe somewhere on a distant planet. Though the thoughts of alien existence might be so captivating, it's important to approach it with caution because this theory is just one among many other theories spurned by scientists to unravel the mystery of Oumuamua. Experts aren't so keen on believing in the existence of aliens because they prefer explanations grounded in practical cosmic events, since the evidence supporting the alien hypothesis is limited. With Oumuamua out of reach and much still not known about it, many scientists opt to focus on more realistic theories. The ongoing debate surrounding the existence of this object visiting Earth uncovers the mysteries behind it. Scientists are trying so hard to explain Oumuamua without having to resort to citing extraterrestrial explanations. To do this, they've articulated different theories over the years. One of them is that Oumuamua is a piece from a larger celestial body, and trying to understand it is akin to finding the complete mystery piece without knowing the picture it belonged to. As a result of this, when they study cosmic objects, they're examining a fragment birthed from an unknown origin, similar to stumbling upon an ancient artifact without knowing its complete history. Several assumptions exist about its origins and purpose. However, without the full context, understanding of this mystery interstellar object remains incomplete. Thus, scientists and astronomers have to keep an open mind and continue exploring the mysteries of the cosmos. Another theory scientists have pushed out is that Oumuamua could be nothing but a hydrogen iceberg. It's a bit puzzling because, unlike the icebergs they're accustomed to, this one consists solely of a frozen hydrogen gas, a substance that is usually experienced as a gas. Here's how the theory goes. If Oumuamua comes from a super chilly corner of the galaxy, it might have been formed from this exotic form of ice. As the space object swung by the sun, the theory then suggested that the heat was responsible for the frozen hydrogen directly transformed into gas, which is a chemical process called sublimation. This gas release would have propelled the interstellar object along, boosting its speed without the need for a flashy tail that's usually seen in comets. Some scientists have their jaws dropped as they wonder if something as fragile and delicate as a hydrogen iceberg can survive the tumultuous journey through space. They wonder because cosmic radiation and other terrible cosmic events could easily disintegrate it. For other groups of stargazers, Oumuamua represents a different breed of celestial voyagers. They believe that it must be the first of its kind that came into being from strange cosmic events in faraway star systems. The notion that Oumuamua's acceleration was from the release of hydrogen from reserves of iced water came from Jennifer Bergner, an astrochemist with the University of California, Berkeley. At first, Jennifer confessed that she didn't spend much time thinking about Oumuamua when it was first discovered. She wasn't so interested because it wasn't so related to her field. In her words, it's not that closely related to my field, so I was like, this is a really intriguing object, but sort of moved on with my life. Jennifer's interest in this interstellar object remained low until she attended a seminar where Cornell University's Darryl Seligman spoke about the weirdness of the object and what might account for it. One of the major possibilities Darrell noted was that Oumuamua could be composed completely of hydrogen ice. Other scientists are of the opinion that it might be made up entirely of nitrogen ice. Jennifer later revealed that hearing some of the explanations that people came up with to explain the strange properties of the object sort of piqued her interest. She began thinking about the whole situation too, and making up theories that could explain the mystery behind Oumuamua. She wondered if it could just be a water-rich comet that happened to get exposed to a lot of cosmic radiation. In her opinion, that radiation would release hydrogen from the water. Subsequently, if that hydrogen got trapped inside the ice, it could also be released when the space object approached the sun and began to heat up. This could be possible because astronomers who observed Oumuamua weren't on the lookout for that type of hydrogen outgassing, and even if they were on the hunt for it, the amount of hydrogen involved could have been undetectable from the Earth. Spurred by this, Jennifer joined forces with Darrell to start investigating what happens whenever water ice gets hit with radiation. They didn't stop there, as they made calculations to see if the object was large enough to store adequate trapped hydrogen, which explains its increased acceleration. Both of them also looked into how the structure of water ice would react to getting warmed, to note if small shifts could allow some of the trapped gas to escape. After lots of study on the subject, Jennifer revealed that this could actually account for the observed upward acceleration by Oumuamua. She also noted that this kind of amorphous water ice found in space has a kind of fluffy structure that contains empty pockets where gas can be collected. Jennifer says that as the ice water warms up, its structure begins to rearrange. In her words, you lose your pockets for hiding hydrogen, and you can form channels or cracks within the water ice, as parts of it are sort of compacting. As the pockets collapse and these cracks form, the trapped hydrogen would leak out into space, giving the object a push. Karen Meach from the Institute for Astronomy at the University of Hawaii, who currently leads the team that first found and observed Oumuamua, agrees with the analysis by Jennifer, saying it's an interesting, creative idea as it doesn't require a super exotic mechanism. However, Karen still believes it's possible that the cosmic object is just a regular, ordinary comet that released enough water, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide to account for the acceleration, and astronomers just failed to detect it. Speaking about this, she said, "What a lot of people don't realize is that in order to get a good spectrum to detect the gas, you usually have to have a pretty bright comet, and Oumuamua was not bright." She went on to say that even though no one detected dust coming off of it, it wasn't throwing off the kind of fine dust that instruments look for. That's why she thinks it's not outside of the bounds of reality that you could get it to fit within the description of a regular comet. Though the space object has now left the solar system and can no longer be observed, Karen is still happy that many people have been drawn to figuring it out, with many explanations being provided. According to Karen, the most interesting mystery about it remains its shape, as she dreamily confessed that it was so elongated. This weird object has gotten everyone's attention with its unusual shape. It's so long and skinny and unlike anything astronomers and scientists have ever seen in the solar system. To get an idea of how it is, imagine a stretched-out cucumber that's 10 times longer than it should be. Scientists are working on understanding new dimensions of Oumuamua, and they've discovered that it is about 800 meters in length and only about 80 meters wide. This unusual shape gives it a unique celestial appearance, similar to a needle or a cigarette. It's hard to say its exact shape for sure, because it's so distant and difficult to observe even when viewed with the most advanced telescopes. This difficulty only adds to the excitement surrounding the existence of the space object. Even when gazing at it from such a distance on Earth, astronomers are sure that its shape doesn't look like anything they've seen orbiting the Sun. Its distinct structure and movement through space have left scientists dumbfounded as they wonder about the forces that shaped it into the way it is now and its origins. It spins in an unpredictable way, suggesting to scientists that it has met with severe disturbances in the past. Many scientists believe that this unique object must have collided with something huge or forcefully ejected from its original orbit. The most captivating thing about it is that it speeds up as it moves away from the Sun. The movement isn't solely because of the Sun's gravitational pull, because there seems to be an unknown force aiding the interstellar object with an additional push. As scientists are still trying to understand what's responsible for Oumuamua's acceleration, they've resolved to get clues from its appearance. One remarkable feature of it is that it has a deep red hue, suggestive of objects that come from beyond Neptune. The presence of this color means that there are organic molecules on its surface, and these molecules are the primary building blocks of life. Though scientists can't confirm at this point that Oumuamua possesses life, it does appear to have some critical elements necessary for the signs of life. It has a weird coloration and unique appearance combined with some mysterious forces that contribute to the secrets it displays in outer space. It's just like a mystery novel unfolding in the boundless expanse of the universe, and each discovery made about the space object opens up a new chapter. Now that Oumuamua has left the atmosphere of our solar system, it might not come back in our generation or that of our father. It's almost impossible for that to happen because it zoomed past the Earth at an incredible speed as it bypassed the gravitational pull of the Sun and continued traveling in a straight line. It was just like a cosmic traveler that made an appearance on the Earth and moved on, never to return again. Since it happened in our lifetime, we've witnessed a visitor from the deep chambers of space who graced our neighborhood. Despite stopping by at the Earth for one time, we've been able to glean some secrets from it about the mysterious nature of our galaxy. We've gained valuable information from the level of its speed, its physical characteristics, and the path it traveled on. What do you think about Oumuamua moving towards the Earth and acting strangely by suddenly going upwards to the Sun? Drop your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more thrilling videos.